Get ready, because this deep dive is a wild one.
I'll go up.
We're jumping into a world where Queen Victoria, she's not just ruling an empire.
No, not at all.
She's like bending reality itself. Albion, it's steampunk, but with magic. And a lot of aether.
It really is a fascinating blend. Think, like Victorian England.
Oh.
But with airships.
Powered by magic.
You could say that. It's all in these sources. We've got maps, historical records, character profiles.
Oh, so we're talking like primary sources. This is good stuff.
The real deal. They paint such a vivid picture of this world, this Albion.
I mean, Queen Victoria as a reality warping...
Hexen?
A hexen, exactly.
Okay, you've got to tell me more about that. That's a lot.
Well, to understand that, we need to talk about ether. That's the energy source, the lifeblood of Albion.
So like their version of coal or electricity?
Sort of, but much more fundamental to their world. Imagine a Victorian-era industrial revolution, but fueled by magic, raw magic.
Okay, so less coal mines, more aether geysers. Not quite. They have these things called etheric conduits. Naturally occurring channels of energy.
And they've figured out how to use it.
Oh, absolutely. They've built their entire civilization around it. It fuels their tech, influences their magic, even shapes their society.
See, this is what I love about these deep dives. Always something new and fascinating. Tell me more about this ether magic. How does it actually work?
It's woven into everything in Albion. Take the Guild of Irregulars, for example.
Who are they now?
They're like the Queen's personal task force. They deal with threats to the crown, but they use this blend of aether-enhanced gadgets and traditional magic.
Wait, hold on. Magic and tech combined.
Precisely. That's the thing about Albion. They're not afraid to mix the old with the new.
So are we talking like enchanted ray guns?
Something like that. They have these aether rifles.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
Oh, they're formidable weapons, channeling magical energy and concentrated aether. Quite devastating, really.
I bet. Okay, but let's talk about the woman calling the shots. Queen Victoria. A hexen, you said?
Indeed. With the power to reshape reality itself.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of power. Talk about pressure. And her family. They must be a handful.
Let's just say royal family dinners are probably interesting. You've got Princess Eleanor, the heir apparent, very different from her mother, much more strategic and measured, excels at wards and divination, a more subtle form of magic, you see.
The calm amidst the storm.
You could say that. Then there's Prince Dustin, the Queen's only son. Now, he seems to have inherited his mother's temper, but not necessarily her political finesse.
Sounds like a recipe for some palace intrigue.
The sources hint at some, shall we say, disagreements within the royal family. It's a bit of a powder keg, really. And this tension, it's not just confined to the high castle. It's all over Albion. You see it in the stark contrast between, say, the smog-choked streets of Londenium and the quiet countryside of Lochumber.
So even with all this amazing tech, they still have social divides.
Unfortunately, it seems some things are universal, even in a world with magic and airships. Take Blackgate, for example, a district in Londenium plagued by poverty and pollution. The difference between their lives and those in the wealthier districts, it's staggering.
That's kind of depressing.
It does make you wonder about the true cost of progress, doesn't it?
It does. So we've got a powerful queen, magical technology, social unrest. What else does this world have in store for us? And what about those character dossiers you mentioned?
Oh, those are a treat. They offer these fascinating glimpses into the lives of everyday people in Albion.
Oh, I like where this is going. Give me the good stuff. Oh, I like where this is going. Give me the good stuff.
Well, we've got inventors, artists, shopkeepers, even a rather intriguing fellow named Thaddeus. Thaddeus Roosevelt.
Thaddeus Roosevelt. Okay, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But also not from, like, our history books, right?
Not quite. This Thaddeus is the governor of the Virginian colonies appointed by the crown, although the record suggests his loyalties might be a tad conflicted.
Ooh, conflicted loyalties. Always makes for a good story. What's his deal?
For starters, he's got this prosthetic arm.
Okay, so steampunk world, probably pretty common, right?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But this isn't just any prosthetic. This thing can transform.
Transform?
Yeah.
Into what? A clockwork hand? A grappling hook?
Even better. It turns into a chainsaw.
A chainsaw. Okay, that's just awesome. Where do we get one? Seriously, this guy sounds like trouble.
Oh, he definitely keeps things interesting. The dossiers suggest he embodies this tension, between Albion and its colonies, this push and pull between assimilation and rebellion.
And he's got a chainsaw arm? Did I mention that's awesome?
Several times, yes. But if we're talking fascinating characters, we can't forget about those interdimensional colonies.
Oh, right, the whole other dimensions thing. I almost forgot about those.
Albion's reach is vast, extends even to a realm known as Dis.
Dis.
What's that like?
Imagine a world shrouded in near-total darkness.
Okay, not exactly a vacation spot. I can already imagine the kind of creatures that would live there. They've adapted. The Disians, as they're called, have this natural dark vision, for one. And they're resistant to... well, let's just say the darkness has its dangers.
Okay, creepy. But kind of cool, too. Do they get along with Albion, or...?
It's more of a tense standoff, really. But the Disians, they have their uses, their abilities. Some of them are quite valuable. They make for excellent spies.
Okay, I can see that. All sneaky in the dark.
Nah.
What kind of abilities are we talking about here?
Some are rumored to wield shadow magic.
Shadow magic. That's not ominous at all.
It's certainly a force to be reckoned with. Albion's learned that the hard way on more than one occasion.
I bet. Okay, so we've got shadowy spies with weird powers, a governor with a chainsaw arm. And did someone say something about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Because I swear I read something about dinosaurs.
You're thinking of the HoloLands.
Right, the HoloLands. What were those now?
A vast network of caverns beneath the surface. Think spelunking, but instead of bats and stalactites, you've got, well, everything. Bioluminescent forests, mana crystal formations, and yes, dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. I knew it. Okay, what kind of dinosaurs? Are we talking T-Rexes? Stegosaurus?
The documents mention creatures called deep diggers, massive behemoths that dwell in the deepest caverns. They spew lava, apparently.
Lava-spewing behemoths. That's terrifying. And awesome.
There's also mention of the Reptin.
Reptin. Okay, what are those? Like a race of dinosaur worshippers or something?
Not exactly. Imagine a race that evolved alongside the dinosaurs. They learned to mimic their forms, their movements, their strength. It's incredible, really.
Wait, so they're like dinosaur people?
In a sense, yes. Some Reptin warriors, it said they can actually shapeshift, turn into dinosaurs at will.
Shape-shifting dinosaur warriors?
Sorry.
Okay, now that's just showing off. What's Albion doing about this? Surely they're not trying to conquer the HoloLands too, are they?
Conquering it, that would be quite the feat, even for Albion. But they're not ignoring it either. There are research outposts, mining operations.
Mining operations? What are they digging up down there? More ether.
Aether is certainly a hot commodity. But there's also this substance, blue ice they call it.
Blue ice. Is that like aether but colder?
You could say that. It's both a source of energy and a powerful magical conduit. And the Folar, the people who live in the HoloLands.
The Folar.
Yes. They've built their entire civilization around this blue ice. They use it for everything, lighting their cities, powering their machines. It's fascinating, really.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. Interdimensional empires, shadowy assassins, chainsaw-wielding governors, dinosaur people, and now an underground civilization powered by magic ice.
Don't forget the Queen's pet dragon.
Oh, right. There's a dragon, too. Of course there is.
What's this dragon's deal?
They call him Rye-Fire. Legend has it he can burrow through solid rock, melt steel with his breath. He's a symbol of the Queen's power, and some say, her undoing. Okay, that's it. I need a minute to process all of this. Dinosaurs, dragons, shadow magic. This deep dive is next level. Okay, I think I've wrapped my head around the dinosaur people. Maybe. But okay, back to those mining operations in the HoloLands. It just seems like, I don't know, maybe Albion is getting a little greedy, you know. First aether, now this blue ice.
It's definitely causing some friction. The documents mention skirmishes between Albion explorers and the Folar. Seems like there's some disagreements about, well, sacred ground and who has the right to these resources.
Yeah, that'll cause some tension. So it's not just about cool gadgets and magic systems, huh? It's about how Albion's actions actually affect these other cultures. It's making me think it's a lot to think about.
It's a recurring theme in all of this, wouldn't you say? This idea that technology, ambition, even magic itself, it's a double-edged sword.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so speaking of magic, we've talked about the Hexen, the wizards, but what about these aetherists, the ones who can control aether directly? I mean, they've got to be pretty powerful, right?
Yeah.
In a world that runs on aether, I mean.
Oh, they're a force to be reckoned with. Relatively new, this whole aetherist thing. And their rise has, well, it's shaken things up in Albion. Imagine the possibilities, the innovation, the progress. but also, the potential for abuse, for control.
There's that double-edged sword again, yeah. So you've got the Aetherists pushing the boundaries of technology, the Hexen reshaping reality, and then good old-fashioned wizards. It's like their magic system is a reflection of their society, isn't it?
You've hit on something there. The Hexen, with their inherent power, their bloodlines, they represent the old ways. The wizards with their knowledge, their traditions, they represent, well, the established order, you see. And then the Aetherists, they're the new generation. A lot of them, they don't come from privilege. They represent this possibility of change, of social mobility.
So even in a world with magic and dragons, the same issues, right? Power, equality. It's all still at play. But hold on, if Queen Victoria's a Hexen, and the Hexen are all about tradition, does that mean she's against all this new technology?
It's not so cut and dry. Victoria, she's a complex figure, shrewd, pragmatic even. The sources suggest she understands that progress can't be stopped, that maybe embracing it is a way to maintain control.
Interesting. So she's using the thing that could disrupt everything to stay in power.
Yeah.
Wow. What about the church, though? They're all about tradition, right? How do they feel about all of this?
The Church of Alameg, they wield considerable influence in Albion, but their stance on magic, it's complicated. They revere Alameg as the source of all creation, the ultimate power. And so magic, it's not that they deny its existence, it's more that they're wary of it, especially when it's wielded by those outside their divine authority, you could say.
So as long as they're the ones in control, it's okay. Sounds a bit hypocritical, don't you think?
It certainly creates tension. The monarchy, the church, the old and the new. It's a delicate balance.
It really is. This whole world, it's like it's holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. For a bunch of maps and dossiers and stuff, these sources have given us a lot to think about.
That's the beauty of a well-crafted world, isn't it? It's more than just escapism. It's about asking questions, holding a mirror up to our own world.
Albion certainly does that, yeah. Political intrigue, social commentary, magic, dragons, dinosaur people. It's got it all.
It really makes you wonder, what would you do if you found yourself in Albion, I mean? Would you try to change things, explore the unknown, or just try to survive?
Those are some big questions. And honestly, I think I'd need a lot more deep dives to even start answering them. But for now, we're out of time. So to everyone listening, we leave you with this. What would you do in a world where magic is real, technology is limitless, and the fate of entire dimensions hangs in the balance?
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep.